I'll start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine living in a world where you sleep in fear, being told to always run away when there's a problem, running away from your fear, not knowing what to do about it, but just to run, leaving all of your belongings, leaving all your friends and your family, and for some, their lives' hard work, leaving all that behind. And that is the reality for many citizens and even many little children who lives in an area that is prone to disasters, living by one solution when what is to run away, when in reality you could have faced that fear, you could have had many solutions to, instead of run away, there could have been so much more. Well, when you know and realize that the area you live in is prone to disasters, people should be figuring out what to do if another disaster happens, what to do, what not to do, and how they will do and survive that disaster. So, how to prevent that disaster from happening, what to do while it's happening, and also what to do afterwards. And that is how I define disaster mitigation. Well, for example, in Indonesia, Indonesia is one of the countries that is prone to disasters. One of them is earthquakes. But instead of running away or moving to another area, we, the citizens, study and learn and how to survive. Schools in Indonesia has actually started teaching kids on how to survive an earthquake, like hiding under a table, using their backpacks as a protection from objects falling off the ceiling or the closets. Well, and even how to evacuate the school building and many others, right? I believe that this should be done everywhere, not only in schools, but also not only in Indonesia, but literally everywhere. I feel like we should make a program where we have to learn, where the government works and collabs with businesses, schools, and everyone so that we know how to survive many natural disasters, many disasters, not only earthquakes, but maybe tsunamis, flood, or even a hurricane, how to survive all that and make it a basic skill that everyone should know. So to ensure even more safety and less damage to people. Now, some may say that relocating or moving to another area is a solution. Now, I'm not saying that we should never relocate, but I believe that there are two types of relocating. One of them is temporarily relocating, which requires tents, first aid kits, and emergency food, which probably they will stay in those tents and emergency areas for maybe a few days, weeks, or if it's really that bad, then maybe a month. But the second one is permanently relocating, which I think is purely moving to another area to prevent all that disasters from happening. And I don't think that's the case because, honorable judges, with that, today I will bring 3 arguments on why we should prioritize disaster mitigation over permanent relocation. One of them, first of all, is that permanent relocation actually costs more money than disaster mitigation. So permanent relocation means citizens have to buy new houses, and which costs them a lot more money, right? And for some, they have to get new jobs. Well, in Indonesia, actually, the job field here is so limited to the fact that even some people who don't even experience disasters, it is hard for them to get a job. I heard that in a restaurant, they are looking for 6 employees, and the people who signed up to get that position as a cashier or as a waiter or as a chef, there are a thousand people who wants that 6 position, one of that 6 position, which I think is very much of a crisis and is very hard for people, especially who are losing a lot of their belongings trying to get a new job. And then businesses have to get or buy a new building when they're relocating. Obviously, they have to get a new place to do their job or increase their company recognition, right? Or even they have to rebrand, which also costs very much a lot of money. Not only if suddenly many of their workers in that business had damage or had many injuries from that disaster, then yeah, they will face more economic failure. And most funds that's used by the citizens is from the government, which will then also cost them even more money. And for my second argument, citizens may struggle reconnecting with their previous communities. Yes, it is hard actually for many people to adapt to a new area, especially for those slow adapters. Or maybe just regular people. They have to get new jobs and new living space, and little children, they have to transfer to new schools, which means new friends, new people. It's hard for them, especially after all of that trauma. They still have trauma from all the disasters. It's like the phrase people say when they're trying something new: don't be afraid, be brave, and you'll overcome your fears. Well, in this case, people are running away from our fears, running away from our problems, trauma from the disasters. Well, in this way, I believe that with disaster mitigation, the trauma people experience will be reduced because, well, um, with this, the government will gain much trust, right? I mean, if a disaster mitigation actually happened, then a government will obviously fund the area to upgrade their infrastructure. Well, with that, the government will gain more trust from the citizen, right? It doesn't only benefit the citizen, but the government will also gain lots of benefits. They will gain trust from the citizens, and they may also get respect from many countries for protecting their citizens, which also the government can increase diplomatic ties with other countries. So if we just relocate permanently to another area, it's basically just like running from your problems. And for my last and third argument, I feel like disaster mitigation may have more benefits than you think. Well, other than saving a lot more money, well, citizens get more survival skills, and they will get better and safer, stronger facilities because the government will fund them and build stronger infrastructures for everyone, for the area. And yeah, the citizens will live comfortably in their own homes that they already have in the first place with the same exact communities. I mean, some people are slow adapters. So by staying in the same place and doing the same things as per usual, I think it'll be better. In fact, it may make the citizens even more happy and even more grateful, right? And for the government and businesses, yeah, they will spend less money or even no money at all for the businesses, and the businesses will stay put in the same area, and there will be no disruption or nothing to disturb them from doing their work because it's only the fact that they're trying to build a stronger infrastructure, right? So this benefits everyone: the government, the area, the citizens, the businesses, little children who stay with their friends and family, and obviously less less damage to the people and the infrastructures, because people with that basic skill that they have, they will know how to survive, and they will know before that what we should do. Maybe we should lock our doors or even do ABCDFG just to stay safe, and what to do while that disaster is happening, and also what to do afterwards. Maybe clean up and then contact many of the other citizens and make sure everyone is safe and put. And that is why I firmly believe that we should prioritize disaster mitigation over relocation. Thank you.